Robbie, I guess it's been sort of spoken a bit about the starts. Is that something that you've sort of had to address with your team over the...
Oh, look, it's not something we've addressed. We've addressed everything in a game. Do we want to start better? Of course we do. It's a case of, I think a few of the players have mentioned it, it's taken us to a goal down, 2 goals down before we start. It can't happen all the time. We know we need to be better in sort of certain areas, and that's certainly one of them. Will we change things in terms of getting the best out of plays and getting prepared? We'll do what we need to do, what we've always done, and getting the players prepared for the games, and hopefully they'll take heed of what we're saying this time and go out there and put a shift in from the first whistle.
Is there anything that you guys can do, or is it more sort of on the players to kind of get themselves switched on?
Look, again, a lot of it is the players. We can give them as much motivational talk as they want, as much tactics as they want, but as soon as they cross over the white line onto the pitch, then it's up to them. We can shout as much onto the pitch as we want. Players choose to hear what they want to hear. That's the modern day football. So they've got to go out there and look. We've said from day one, players need to show a little bit of accountability and a little bit of ownership on themselves. Hopefully tomorrow will be that day.
Is it a matter of like taking the game to the sort of Mariners early?
Look, I think every game in the A-League is certainly winnable. I think that there's been lots of results that have proven that. We obviously have tactics. We know how we need to play, how we want to play. I think we've proven in the past we're obviously a much better team when we do that. But initially we try and get the onus on us, as opposed to try and get a control of the game. Get a feel of the ball, get the players used to the service, get them used to the crowd, get them used to the atmosphere, and get them used to the opposition. So look, there's lots of things that we can do better. We know that, and obviously tactics will play a big force of that.
What are you expecting from the Mariners? They've obviously become a much tougher proposition on the stage this season.
Yeah, look, I think they've been good. And look, we've played them before in the FA Cup. I think we probably should have got more out of that game. We were probably the dominant team, but result-wise, we were probably left wanting. But look, he has got them really, really organised. He's got them players working really, really hard for each other. And like any team that you play, you've got to sort of outwork the opposition, and that's probably what our plan will be tomorrow.
You said about the atmosphere before, like obviously at what's named Dolphin, it was, they were, like on top. So how can that, at Suncorp so much sort of, bigger, how can you feed off that?
Again, it's interesting because obviously you're playing in a bigger stadium where obviously less people per seats per stadium, but look, it is what it is, and the A-League's been like this for a number of years now, with teams playing in maybe stadiums that are too big. It's probably not ideal. It is what it is. We've done it before in the past. We'll do it again. We've seen the atmosphere up at Dolphin. It definitely helps the players. When everyone's behind a team. And look, I think when you are going to watch a team, and as much as you want to maybe get on in the back of the players, the back of the manager, I think football proves in history that if you get behind your team, regardless of how many people's there, I think if you're vocal and get right behind a team, then sort of that gives them a little bit of a lift, and that's all we ask for tomorrow. So we know in terms of the ground is probably not ideal in terms of reverberating that that atmosphere. But whatever numbers are there, get right behind the team, because like always, we need the fans.
Would you like to see? I mean, obviously there's 3 games this season at Dolphin Stadium. Is it something you'd like to see the club explore more, playing more games away from something like Suncorp and going somewhere a bit smaller?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the point. Obviously, the structure of Brisbane Roar as a club, as we are a team that fundamentally plays out of Suncorp. I said before, ideally it's not probably spot on, but I think it was proven the other week against Melbourne just sort of how good that little boutique stadium is, the atmosphere, the overall general game was a lot better because of the atmosphere. So yeah, I'm all for playing in little stadiums, getting the crowds as big as possible, as noisy as you can. Look, and probably we'll address that in the coming months and the coming year, I think.
There was a poll a couple of weeks ago that said the Roar are the most supported team in the A-League. So I guess you want, like as many out there, aren't you?
Look, I mean, it's nice. I think it proves that I think Brisbane have got a rich history. I think people are getting right behind us. I think the poll tells you that people are maybe watching us and supporting us. My advice would be come and watch us. Come here and get as many people as we can. That's what we want. We want to get as many people in the stadium as we possibly can. So the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned.
Your old pal Marcus Babbel got in hot water on the weekend for using a few tasty English words. Is that something that are you surprised? I mean, has he always been a bit fiery like that?
Look, I think we all are. Look, any manager would be in the same boat. When you're not getting results. I mean, I swear quite a lot myself, and I'm very passionate. Marcus is very passionate. And I'll be amazed if there's no manager sort of in the A League who's passionate. It's what we do. We're here to do a job. And if the job isn't going as well as what you would have liked, then a few choice words are going to be said. I think at times you do need to sort of rein it in a little bit, but at the end of the day we're all human, and when things aren't going your well, we want to try and put it out there, don't we?
Yeah. Did he have that same passion in the dressing room?
Of course. That's why he was a winner. You need that passion, and hopefully that passion will sort of delve into the players as well, because that's what we want. We want the players to be passionate. We want the fans to be passionate, and we want the managers to be passionate. It's a passionate game, so why can't we all be passionate?
Any changes?
We'll see, Marco.
Yeah. Everyone fit. Everyone,
Yeah, everyone's fit. Everyone's fit and firing. Yeah. Tomorrow you'll see, but I'm not going to tell you the team now, am I?
Are they on notice, the boys?
Are they
on notice? In terms of, needing to lift.
Oh, look, I think with when you're playing football, I think it's us, as a staff to keep everyone on the toes anyway. I mentioned before about giving players ownership and accountability. I think we need to show that. They need to show that. So we as a staff, need to get everything ordered in terms of how we prepare for games. And look, it is what it is in football. If no one's pulling the right strings, then questions need to be answered, and who knows what's around the corner. I do, but.
Okay.